of the more interesting weapons that we make here at Baltimore Knife are these Falcatas. Really cool blades. You know, big broad up here at the end. So if you're on stage, this thing catches light and catches people's attention. It's got a nice ring to it. Forged. All the mounts are forged for this. This is forged out and drawn in a ring. This horse head. You know, when Sam first started working here, that was one of the things. We were only making these kind of things in castings. We really weren't forging them in steel. So Sam came in and kind of changed how we were doing all that. It was something that he practiced and had a pretty good feel for. And before he left to go off teaching for Under Armour, he taught Ilya how to make it, because Ilya was just kind of learning at the time. And so he kind of imparted that, that art forging onto Ilya. And then when we made the transition as Ilya was leaving, when Kevin was coming in, Ilya taught Kevin how to make this. And then later on, Sam and Kevin have spent a bunch of time in the evenings, kind of working on a bunch of different ornamental pieces. Kevin also kind of took it very seriously as homework. So he went home and he made, I don't even know how many, but I'll bet you in the first couple of weeks, he made 100 of these horse heads to just make sure he really had it right. And he really does have it right. He also does these forgings and the curls, which are great. And then obviously we machine them. The fullers are cut in. These are cut in on a curve like this. So you could actually either forge these in, or you could cut them when they're straight on a standard milling machine. We use a CNC mill because it follows that nice curvature of the blade. But this is all handwork. These are stamped in using a fly press with a chisel that has the form already in it, so it presses in very deeply into the steel. Hardened, ground, polished. Got our nice logo set in right here. It's a heck of a piece. They're really neat. Obviously, when we did the Assassin's Creed Odyssey Copus, we were already making these, so we already had a basic form in mind. So we used this form as a template, but because we forged that piece, it had a little more organic shape to it. It was a little bit different, had a little droopier end, which was more the look of the Copus from the game. When we made the Assassin's Creed Copus, we actually set star sapphires in the eyes. Now the nice thing about that is that as you move around this piece, or as the sword moves in your hand, the eye appears to move because you've got a star there, and that star pretty much always faces you as you turn it. So even though those were in bronze in the snake heads, and these are in iron, we could still set a bronze setting, a silver setting, or a gold setting, and put something like a star sapphire or a piece of jasper or something really interesting in the eye, and it would be a really neat piece. So in this form, we're looking at about $650. That's forward with that, with the chisel work, with the forging work. Obviously, we get into fancier Damascus blades. You could get into quite a bit more money. But base price for a piece like this with a very basic pommel, basic guard, no fullers in the blades, about $500, and it kind of varies from there. We make quite a few a year, but not as many as we might. Probably 40 or 50, I would guess, in this style range. I think it's just a matter of the fact that we're busy doing other stuff that we're not creating that many of them, versus some of the more standard Western European swords that we do. But we love it. We're glad to be able to make them. Lots of variations on the theme, and you're going to see a whole lot more of them in the future. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Click the logo to subscribe, or click the video to see more things we make here at Baltimore Knife and Sword.